Hi everyone, I'm Mark Hamilton, CEO of Solo Energy, and I've got about 420 seconds to tell you all about Solo Energy and how we're using blockchain and energy storage to create the future of energy. At Solo, our motto is the best way to predict the future is to create it. We passionately believe in a 100% renewable future completely free from fossil fuels, and we're creating that future by building the power plant of the future, virtual power plant. We're launching an asset-backed security token offering to raise funds to build the foundation of our virtual power plant system. The building blocks of our virtual power plant system are energy storage and blockchain. We deploy free batteries and vehicle-to-grid chargers in homes and businesses across the grid to store low-cost renewable generation so we don't need to rely on polluting fossil fuels for backup. We use blockchain-based peer-to-peer trading to share that stored renewable generation across our virtual power plant customers, generating revenue from established revenue streams to recover the cost of our assets through dynamic wholesale electricity market trading and delivering balancing services to grid operators, and in the future generating micro fees on peer-to-peer energy transactions. Quick 101 on the energy sector. You're all smart guys and smart people in the audience, so I won't dwell on it too much. The energy system globally is undergoing a massive transition from large, centralized, controllable fossil fuel generation, where bulk power is being transmitted out to the edge of the grid to very passive consumers, to one where first thousands and now millions of renewable generators from wind farms, solar farms, and solar panels in people's homes and businesses across the grid are producing clean energy, all feeding into the grid. This is a physical decentralization of a major infrastructure system, the likes of which has rarely been seen in any sector. So it's starting to look like a really perfect use case for blockchain. The renewables revolution has truly begun. The rapidly falling costs of wind and solar mean that renewables are now competitive in most markets with traditional generation. Renewables just make sense now from a cost as well as an environmental perspective, but there is a problem. Renewables are intermittent, which creates big challenges for integration into the grid. When output from wind and solar drops, we still need to turn up fossil fuel generation to fill the gaps. Most grids are comfortable taking around 25% renewables, that's roughly where we are today, but above that the grid becomes really unstable. You can install all the wind farms and the solar panels you want, but unless you have the means to store that renewable generation, we're never going to be able to turn off fossil fuels. The future potential of renewables is just going to be filled with more of this nasty grey stuff, unless we have the means to store it. So this is where energy storage comes in. Fortunately, coinciding with the need for energy storage has come a massive drop in the cost of lithium-ion batteries in particular. Over the past 10 years, we've seen around a 10-fold decrease in costs, driven primarily by a huge increase in demand for lithium-ion batteries from the electric vehicle market. All this means that we'll soon be reaching a tipping point where it'll be cheaper to generate solar energy and store it in a battery than it'll be to just buy electricity from the grid. This chart from EY shows the ever-increasing cost of consumer electricity tariffs going up and the continued falling cost of solar plus storage. In many areas it's already at grid parity, and this is going to have a massive disrupting effect on the energy industry, the biggest industry in the world by revenue, and change the way the energy system works forever. For anybody that doesn't know what a home battery looks like, here you go. Lithium batteries are now so compact that a single Tesla Powerwall system, for example, can store enough energy to power your home for a whole day. So we install batteries from all the major manufacturers like Tesla, Sonnen, Nissan, and control them with our cloud-based aggregation platform, which we call FlexiGrid, to operate as a virtual power plant. It's not just stationary wall-mounted batteries we control. We also integrate electric vehicles into the virtual power plant through two-way vehicle-to-grid charging. It's not just your home that becomes part of the virtual power plant, but your electric vehicle too. All these aggregated assets create a truly decentralized and democratized virtual power plant system to store renewable generation, to reduce and eventually eliminate the need for baseload fossil fuel generation. Here's a quick run through how the energy system works right now. Power flows from the grid, including from renewables when they're generating. But when renewables reduce their output, we still need to fire up fossil fuel plants to fill the gaps. Here's how the virtual power plant system works. We install batteries in homes to store renewable energy from the grid, as well as from behind the meter generation like rooftop solar. If the homeowner also has an EV, we also charge it up during periods of peak renewable generation during the day. Now, when renewable output decreases, rather than turning on fossil fuels again, we instead supply the home with all that nice, clean energy stored in the battery or your EV. We can even share that excess stored energy across the grid with your neighbours using blockchain settlement, delivering a fairer price to you than your energy supplier would pay you, and a better price for your neighbour. We're delighted to be building our peer-to-peer trading layer on the NEM platform. We've chosen NEM due to its ability to manage high-volume transactions with private permissioned off-chain functionality, its cross-chain interoperability, and we also really like proof of importance validation due to vastly lower energy consumption versus proof of work. Quick word on peer-to-peer trading and why it makes sense. This is how the system works at the moment. If you've got rooftop solar on your roof and it goes out into the grid, you get paid a very small amount for what you're exporting. Your energy supplier takes that and kind of runs it up and down the grid, interacts with the wholesale market. There's a lot of very middleman processes involved here. Comes back down through the grid, back down through another supplier or the same supplier, and next thing your neighbor next door is paying 3 or 4 times as much as you're getting paid for it. So with blockchain, it's all about making better use of local grid, not interacting with all the middleman stuff that's involved here, using blockchain settlement to do real-time settlement of energy transactions. So you're getting paid a bit more, and your neighbor next door is paying a bit less. It's as simple as that. FlexiGrid is our aggregation platform. This is an existing platform which we've developed over the past 3 years. We use this to manage distributed energy storage assets as a virtual power plant. We've already proven the platform through pilot projects in the UK and Irish markets. Our STO is not about looking for funds to build a platform. We've already done that. So we're investing the majority of the funds raised in our STO in physical assets to build our virtual power plant ecosystem. Here's some of the team. We're all very passionate and experienced energy sector professionals with a broad range of expertise across the energy and blockchain sector. Also delighted to announce the appointment of Ben Hill, former VP of Tesla Energy in Europe, as commercial technical advisor. Ben brings a deep understanding of battery technology and vast commercial experience and profile to the team. We're also very excited to have Caelan O'Donnell, one of the founding members of the NEM Foundation, on board as our project CTO. Our security token offering looks a bit like this. We're launching end of this month. It's an asset-backed STO, so the assets that we're investing in provide security to the STO investors. We're funding a large-scale rollout of our VPP infrastructure, batteries and vehicle-to-grid chargers, free to homes and businesses. We're using those assets to facilitate peer-to-peer energy trading across our customer base. So it's a profit share with investors. Investors are entitled to a dividend-type payment from the revenues that we're generating. This is very much a global expansion opportunity. We're starting off in the UK and Ireland, but expanding globally over the coming years. We've already established partnerships with energy suppliers, and we'll be announcing more shortly. And we've just contracted with EY, one of the big 4 accountancy firms, to support the STO raise. I think that's about it from me. We're displaying down in the exhibition hall, so please do come and see us later on if you've got any more questions. Thank you.
All right.